Hey folks, it's Brian from A Life After Layoff, and today I want to share with you how to build your own custom resume website using Wix. If you saw my recent video on resume hacks, you know that one of the suggestions that I had was creating a custom resume website. And the reason why that's important is it allows recruiters to discover you through Boolean search. What is Boolean search? It's actually an advanced search string that we can use on a variety of websites, including Google, to help us find those needles in a haystack. And if you want to make sure that you're being found for some of the best opportunities, you want to make sure that you've got a website that we can discover. This video is sponsored by Wix, and I want to show you how to create your own custom website in the matter of minutes. Now, the nice thing about a Wix website is you don't need to know any special coding. You don't have to know HTML or CSS. Now, of course, for our purposes, that's very attractive, but you can also build very high-end custom websites that are very powerful. So if you're interested in other kinds of websites, I highly recommend you check Wix out as well. Let's head over to Wix and check it out. Okay, so let's jump over to the Wix website and let's get signed up. So I'm going to leave a link below that you'll want to click on and get started with creating your website. So let's go ahead and click start now. And that's going to bring us over to the sign up. So you just need to put in an email address and create your password and verify your email. All right, so once you've verified your email, you should be logged into your dashboard and you're gonna see most likely a blank screen that will allow you to start setting up your first site. I actually have already set up a couple of sites before, so I already have some stuff on my dashboard, but what we wanna do is just go over to the site actions and we wanna create a new site. In our case, we're going to be doing an online CV. I think it's actually listed as a CV or resume, but let's type resume just to see what happens. We're going to go ahead and just start with a template. So let's go ahead and click on edit a template. And what we want to do once we get on the template site, it's already going to be pre-populated with all the CV templates and CV and resume. CV is just a little longer version of a resume. So in this case, you can scroll through and you can look through all of the different templates that are out there. And in my case, I just want something pretty simple and I want everything on the front page. So in other words, I don't want to scroll from page to page in order to find the resume. From a Boolean search perspective as a recruiter, I just want to make sure that I'm as discoverable as possible using my Boolean search. So let's just check out this one. And the nice thing is you can actually review the full demo. And in this case, it's a nice clean layout. And I like that the resume is immediately below the contact information and the introductory paragraph. And it just seems like a nice clean starting point. So I actually like this one a lot. So I think I'm going to go with this one. And what I'm going to do is just go up and click on edit this site. All right, so we're in the back end of this template and now we can see a few menu items that we can edit, and we can add different pages, we can add menus, we can change our theme around, we can also change the background if we want to. The nice thing about Wix is there's a whole bunch of apps that we can add on depending on our purposes for the website that we're developing. We can also add media, and I'm going to come to the media tab in a little bit because I actually want to add a video to my resume, an online video. And then I can also add a blog if I wanted to start branding myself as a thought leader in the space. I could actually create a blog. So that's a really cool feature and something that I would seriously consider if I was trying to increase my discoverability and my brand recognition, my personal brand recognition in my selected genre. In my case, I'm just going to go up and I want to look at the very top here. I want resume, the word resume, to be prominent because that's going to be a keyword that I'm going to be searching for when I'm doing a Boolean search as a recruiter. So let's just say I'm going to be developing a technical recruiting resume. So I'm going to call it, I'm literally putting the keyword in technical recruiter resume, and I can resize this pretty easily by just clicking and dragging. The nice thing is it's a WYSIWYG editor, so we can very easily create different looks, feels. I can change the headings, the fonts. I happen to like Helvetica quite a bit, and I'm going to keep that. But if you want to change the font size, the font colors, any of that stuff, we can do that just through the WYSIWYG editor just by clicking on the element. And let's go over and actually, I want to change this menu item as well. I like the resume and I like the contact, so I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to change the name of this button to download resume versus download CV. Because in the United States, resumes are more common than CVs, but if you're in Europe and you're watching this or somewhere else in the world and a CV is more appropriate for you, then feel free to keep the CV. Let's go ahead and change this to resume. All right, so I've changed my button name. Now let's change where it's actually going to point to, because we want it to download our resume. So let's click on the little chain icon, and I can change the web address. If I'm keeping it on, I like save, for example, a Google Docs, I can go ahead and just put the hyperlink into that. Or I can upload a file. I can upload my resume, and that's actually what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and choose our file. And we're gonna have to find our media. So let's click on this and upload from computer. And I have it saved in a folder, and I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight that, and it's gonna upload my resume. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the page. So now, and click done. So now my resume should be downloadable by clicking on this button, and that's gonna be a great tool for a recruiter to be able to send off to a hiring manager. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to change the header. I want to change, obviously I want to change to my name, and you can see the two different columns, and we can manage our columns by clicking on these different buttons. I can change the background if I want to. And let's go ahead and just change the name. So I'm just going to click on the element, and I'm going to actually just double click. Same thing as before. Changing the elements are pretty quick here. Let's put my name in. And let's just say, for the sake of this tutorial, that these are both correct, the phone number and the email address. And let's look at the social bar. So the social bar, I want to put a link to my LinkedIn account, and I don't really use Twitter, but if you use Twitter, then you can add that as well. So let's go ahead and put that in by clicking on the social links. So in this case, I want this to point to my LinkedIn page. So again, I'm gonna go over here and click on this little blue icon to change where it's gonna point to. And I'm just gonna paste in my address. And in the case of Twitter, I don't use Twitter, so I'm gonna just go ahead and remove Twitter altogether, because I only want the LinkedIn to pop up. You can add other hyperlinks in there if you would like, but for me, LinkedIn is going to be good. That's where I want people to point and go and check out. And then the next thing I want to edit is this paragraph of text. So this is going to be your entry into your online resume. Now, let's just talk resume strategy for just a minute here. When you're creating a resume, you're looking for efficiency first and foremost. In this case, because it's an online resume and I already have a link to my actual resume, feel free to get much more creative here. Feel free to add a lot more content. So this is a chance for you to kind of express yourself in a more creative fashion. And the same rules for resumes doesn't necessarily apply with your online resume. So feel free to add what you want. But for the sake of this, I'm going to add in an introductory paragraph introducing who I am and what exactly it is that I do. Now let's just say, for the sake of quickly getting something in there, I'm just going to cut and paste something that I've already written. So I'm just going to grab my text and I'm going to go ahead and just paste it in there. Now I'm going to want to play around with the sizing of this, because it doesn't look good when it's not properly formatted. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clean up my text a little bit. And when you're cutting and pasting, just be careful to make sure that the readability looks good. And I think that should look pretty good. Now you can add in whatever you want here, but I would generally recommend just put in a text field about a summary of who you are and what it is that you bring to the table. And then you might even want to put some of the industries that you've supported or some of the positions that you might be interested in. And then down below, professional experience, we're going to start editing and putting in information about our resume. So let's just go ahead and add some content here. And again, for the sake of brevity in this video, I'm just going to go ahead and cut and paste some things in just to populate it. But you would want to take the time to really make sure that your bullet points look good, they're well optimized, and you are keyword rich. So in my case, I am a senior recruiter, and I'm just going to put my company, And I'm just gonna put my company. Let's just say I work for Acme Manufacturing Co. Home of Bugs Bunny. And let's just say it's located in Sacramento, that's fine. And then I'm just gonna cut and paste some bullet points in here of some accomplishments, and then we're gonna go ahead and clean those up as well. So let's go ahead and just highlight that again, get rid of some of my fake bullet points, and let's try to add some real ones in. We're just gonna clean up this text field and just make sure that we got good, clean bullet points. All right, so let's get rid of that. And I want to change the dates. Let's just say I have worked here from 2020 to current. And there we go. So now in column 2, I've got a nice clean first job or most current job. And I want to go from most current to, and I want to work backwards. So let's say for this next position, I'm just going to cut and paste in something again. Let's just say I'm a senior technical recruiter, and let's say Amazon, and let's just say, yeah, we'll say California. We're in San Francisco. All right, so then I want to do the same thing. I just want to cut and paste in some bullet points. And let's just clean this up a little bit. All right, so we just clean this up a little bit, and I'm just putting in, for the sake of brevity, I'm just putting in these 4 bullet points. You don't have to follow the same principles of design for the online versus the paper resume. If you want to add 20 bullet points, load it all down with everything you've done, feel free to go ahead and do that. So that's the nice thing about the online resume, is we can be more creative with it. Now let's make sure we change over our dates. Let's just say this was 20, let's just put some dates in here. And there you go. Say you wanted to add even more information, all you would do is you would just click on the field that you're interested in duplicating. And in this case, we want to select the entire box. So we want to click over here to make sure that we're grabbing the text over the text for the date as well. And you're just going to right click and just click this duplicate button, or you can do Control D. That's actually going to give you another section to work with. So you can add even more if you wanted to add another job. If you decide that that's a mistake and you didn't want to do that, you just click up here on undo, and it'll just remove that for you. Now, say there was too much space here and I wanted to clean this up. I'm actually just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to just drag it up. So now it just cleans up the spacing in between our positions. Maybe I actually want to do the same thing here. All right, so let's talk education. In my case, maybe I just want the first degree, and I'm going to change this to State University, City Park, PA, and since I'm really old and I don't want to date myself, maybe I decide I don't want to include the dates on this section. So let's just go ahead and delete this section. And again, right click and delete. Now we don't have to have that there. And in my case, I'm only going to include 1 degree. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing down here. Make sure that the entire column or the entire row is selected by clicking on the far left in this area. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete. Now I have cleaned that up, so let's bring this up a little closer, and that way it's gonna not have a huge gap. All right, so in expertise and skills, data management, basically this is the keywords that we want to be focusing on. So we're just gonna add, the nice thing about this is I actually kind of like how they've labeled it data management and then computer science. They put it in these different categories. So maybe I would want to keep that, and I just start to put in the different competencies that I have. So once again, for the video, I'm just going to go ahead and cut and paste some stuff in there, but feel free to put in as many skills and expertise as you can. And I'm going to actually just change this to skills. And I'm gonna go ahead and just cut and paste some stuff in. Okay, so again, we're just gonna double click on the element and we're gonna right click and paste. And again, I'm gonna wanna clean up my bullet points. And let's just do that. And then I'll continue to do that for every category and I'll put in all of that stuff. So maybe this is, double click on that. Maybe this will be talent. And we'll just put talent acquisition in there. And then I can add in my computer skills maybe, and I can add in as many of these as I want to. So now I've got all my skills in. It's nice and clean for Boolean search. Recruiters should be able to find me on this resume. And down at the bottom, I've got my phone number, and let's say that my email address is correct. I don't have a Twitter, so let's go ahead and get rid of this Twitter and set social icons. Let's click on that and delete. And there you have it. Okay, down here, I'm gonna obviously change the branding. And let's say, we'll have to remember to change that, but 2021 Brian Creeley, so that way I am branded on my site. And you know what I want to do? I actually think I want to add a video. I'm going to add a video to my, I created an online video and I want to go ahead and include that. So let's go ahead and do that. So that what I'd want to do is I just want to click on here and I'm going to drag this down just a hair so I can leave a space. I'm going to stick a video right here. So what I want to do is I want to go over to media and I want to insert a video. So I'm going to click on this blue icon right here and I'm going to upload some media. So in my case, I have a video that I created on my computer. So I'm going to go find that and I'm going to upload it. Okay, so once I found my video, I'm just going to let it upload. Once we've got that uploaded, what we're going to do is just click to add to page and you will see our video. It's still rendering, so it's going to take another minute or two. And I think I want to just resize this just a hair to fit better. And there we go. So once that's done rendering, we will be able to see that video pop up in our resume. Really just a couple of clicks of a mouse to get that there. I actually want to drag this up and just give that a little bit more space. All right, so if I wanted to change this video element over here, I could go ahead and click on it and change this video as well and do the same thing. They have preloaded Wix media. I could, if I had my own, I could go to Shutterstock if I wanted to get something that was related to my career of choice, or I could even put a photo of myself up if I wanted to. But in this case, this is fine for my purposes, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep it. But that's basically, let me just take a quick look. I think we're in pretty good shape here. First of all, let's save our work. It's already auto-saved on, but I just like to make sure everything is saved. And I want to preview what it looks like. So if we look here, this is exactly what a recruiter would see if they were to come onto your website, if they found you through Boolean search. So nice, clean resume. See, the video automatically plays. It looks really nice and clean. It only took a couple of seconds to get it on there. And I've got my nice clean resume that I've got loaded with keywords, nice and easy to follow. And then I've got my education and then all of my skills that are hopefully going to grab the attention of those recruiters. Nice, clean, easy contact information. I've got my LinkedIn profile. Everything is branded to my name. And I can go ahead and download the resume just by clicking on it. I mean, how cool is that? So as a recruiter, I would love to find this website for candidates that I'm searching for. So if you make yourself discoverable by creating a simple website, you're going to have more interest in your resume and be able to be found in more ways than just LinkedIn, applying for jobs and hoping somebody notices you. Final step that we want to take is we want to get this published so that recruiters can start finding us. So let's go up to the top right here and click the publish button. And let's make sure that we have that going. So here's something to point out. I don't think it looks very professional. It's just less discoverable to have a generic website with the Wix branding. So we actually want to put our own branding on it, and we want to go ahead and click and upgrade. For the price, it's going to be very worth your time and energy and for the discoverability and the branding to have your name and what you do. So in my case, I probably would put something like Brian Creeley Recruiter or Brian Creeley Technical Recruiter.com, and then that way it's going to give me another layer of branding and SEO, and it's just going to look a lot cleaner and more professional. So you'll want to go ahead and do that and upgrade your plan, and just follow the simple prompts in order to set up your website. It takes just a few seconds to get that registered, and you should be all set to go. So now when we go on to the back end of our dashboard, let's just go ahead and refresh that, and we should be able to see our website. So let's go ahead and we can now manage it on the back end dashboard by going to Site Actions. We can rename it if we want. We can duplicate this if we want to create multiple sites with different resume versions. All right, so there you have it, folks. That's how to create your own custom resume website in the matter of minutes. And if you're serious about recruiters coming and finding you in your job search, I highly recommend a Wix website. And again, I'll leave that link for you below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.